Welcome to my video on self-love, and today I want to talk about boundaries. So I have been working on my self-love project now for approximately 3 months, maybe a little bit longer, and I know I hadn't posted a video in a few weeks because I've been doing a lot of processing, and I put a lot of thought into what I want to document and what I want to share. So what I'm going to share today has a lot to do with boundaries. But I did want to let you know some of the benefits that I have found so far from doing this project. So like I talked about in my first video, I mean, what really is self-love? So I'm just discovering this more and more as I do this project. And in the beginning, I kind of set myself up this little schedule and thought I would like do my yoga every day and I would eat a certain way and blah, 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 blah. And I found that to be very restrictive. And so now I'm moving more into a place of just being in my nows, and whatever I'm inspired in that moment, then that's what I reach for doing. So I am still doing things to support my physical body because I think that's really important. Like I said, with our bodies moving from carbon-based to crystalline-based structures. So as our bodies are going through these physical changes, then our consciousness is also going through changes. So it's important that we're not just, it's that there's a good balance there and that we're taking care of ourselves. So I had mentioned in my first video that I had created a physical manifestation for myself, and I'll give you a little more information about that in this video. I had created a growth in my abdomen, in my power chakra, and I've discovered so far that that manifestation came about from basically giving my power away and denying my power. And that is on many different levels of a personal experience that I've been starting to write about. What I wanted to share with you is that I'm finding the more that I give my focus to myself and I tap into my nows and I create an environment of more peace within the moment. What I've found is that I've released 2 inches of this growth, which is significant. So if you can imagine your abdominal wall for like a 5'1" woman, mine got to 35 inches. So that's a pretty good size waist even for a man. So in this process, what I did was I did a measurement before I started my self-love project. And then after 3 months, I did the measurement over and actually shrank this growth by 2 full inches. And really, I am just getting started. So I'm very excited about it, and it's helping me to realize how much of an effect that self-love has on our physical structure, and that we really create disease and we create things within our body, including pain, when we are not honoring ourselves, when we're not holding ourselves sacred. So I wanted to talk about boundaries, and that has been one of the more challenging subjects for me through my life. And I'm finding that I'm giving myself more and more interactions where I can actually practice holding my boundaries. And so when we're interacting with someone, we're also exchanging energy with that person. And while we're exchanging that energy, we're creating a reality for ourselves that's giving us opportunities to clear more things. And I'm just getting to where I'm starting to understand that on a more deep level. But for the purpose of this video, I want to stick with the subject matter. So what I found was that in order to create circumstances where I would fit in or feel loved or not rock the boat or create waves, then I would just go along with whatever the conversation was about, because within my being, I wanted to feel good. And so even if I didn't agree with what was happening or what was being said to me or what was being told to me, I would sometimes just go along with it and I wouldn't speak up for myself. And there's a lot of this that goes on with some of the bullying and things that we see in the schools. But what I wanted to get at is that when all of this is occurring, it's something that's within us vibrationally that's matching us up to these experiences, that's giving us the opportunity to hold our boundaries, to hold ourselves sacred. And what I'm learning is you can hold yourself sacred and speak from your heart in a loving way to the person who is dishonoring you. And in doing that, you're showing this person what it's like to hold yourself sacred. And it's actually not just an empowering gift that you give to yourself. It's one of the most loving things you could do for yourself, is to speak up for yourself and to honor yourself. Because when you do that, the person who is not honoring you doesn't probably even know consciously that that's what they're doing. They also dishonor themselves in the process. But when they see someone who is honoring themselves and still speaking to them through their heart, through a place of kindness, it plants a seed within them, so that at some point, whether they recognize it from that conversation or not, down the road, that seed has the opportunity to grow. And that's where it comes into play, that we all have choice. Within every situation we enter in, we have a choice on how we're going to look at that situation and what we're going to do with it. Are we going to see it as someone else who is doing something to us? Or are we going to see it as an opportunity of how we can honor ourselves and hold ourselves sacred and transmute whatever the energy is that's being brought to the surface in the moment? So what I've also discovered through doing this, and I know I'm going to continue to give myself more and more opportunities to practice this, I've discovered that as we expand our consciousness, it like puts us into another a layer of awareness. So our awareness expands. And when our awareness expands, it's kind of like sweeping the floor and creating a lot of dust particles in the room. And those dust particles are these little fragmented self, these little inner children that are kind of, fluffed up a little bit, and they're like, okay, let's work on these things in a deeper way now. So even though we might feel like we worked on something before and all of a sudden it's in our face again, it just means you've leveled up. It means that your awareness has expanded and you're given the opportunity to take it deeper. And I think we're going to continue to do this. I know that I feel like I'm going to continue to do this. So it's just allowing us to reach for more awareness than where we are now, because when we look at something, we can only describe it from what we've already experienced, what's in our database already. And so as we are expanding our consciousness farther so that we can add more information to the database, then that is what's taking us to new levels. At least this is what it feels like for me. And what I'm recognizing is that we've been doing this all along. We just weren't aware of it. And so now I'm having experiences that I'm aware of how what I've been doing has been touching myself in a multi-dimensional way. So what I'm coming to learn is that all time exists in the now, and that whatever experiences we are having in this now is affecting all the other nows. So as we expand in this reality, it actually helps all of our other selves expand too. So we expand multi-dimensionally. And it is a really cool feeling once you start recognizing that and tapping into it. And I had an experience this morning that I will share on another video. I'll probably do a second one after this because I don't want it to end up being too long. But it really helped me to understand the power of now. So what I want to leave you with this video is the importance of really self-love. Another piece is to hold ourselves sacred. That is, it's so important to speak up for yourself and to express what you truly feel inside. Express what you really want, and don't be afraid, because that is what is going to open your heart, it's going to open your life, and it's going to create this feeling inside that you may have never known was there. So that is all for today, and I really thank you for watching, and I hope that my sharing has inspired you as much as it has empowered me. I love you. Thank you. Namaste.